morning, and welcome to Good Morning Manhattan with Kimmy Johnson and Megan Brown. Today, we have an exclusive interview with the infamous Patrick Bateman. He will be joining us from Sunrise Springs Downtown Mental Health Center after a recent arrest in Washington Square Park for disorderly conduct.
That's right, Megan.
Bateman has a long history as a prominent specialist in mergers and acquisitions at Pierce & Pierce investment firm on Wall Street. He was recently brought into Sunrise Springs after an anonymous tip was called into the NYPD about a man that appeared to be in some sort of altered state, wandering through the park, shouting and making aggressive actions towards civilians.
NYPD thought he posed a threat to the safety of the public and brought him into a temporary holding cell. He has now been transferred to Sunrise for further testing and evaluation of his mental state. Now here's Bateman live from Sunrise Springs' main mental health facility.
Hello, Kimmy. Thank you for inviting me to speak today.
So glad you could join us.
So tell us, Mr. Bateman, what is it like living in New York?
Living in the city is really the dream. I work in one of the best investment firms in the city, and I'm invited to all the most exclusive clubs and restaurants. Have you ever been to Barcadia? The Chadreau ravioli with apple compote and the meatloaf with chev are to die for. I get the hottest girls. If they have a great personality and they're not great looking, who fucking cares? The only girls with good personalities who are smart, or maybe funny, or halfway intelligent or talented, are ugly chicks, and everyone knows it. Did you know Tom Cruise lives in my building? Anyways, I'm living the life.
Mr. Bateman, you say you're living your life, but aren't you currently in a mental health institution? The viewers are dying to know.
That's really none of your business. Let's move on.
All right, well, you seem like a busy man. Who do you spend most of your time with?
During work hours, I tend to mostly hang out with a few of my colleagues from banking, Paul Owen, Louis Carruthers, Timothy Price, Craig McDermott, and David Van Patten. After work, sometimes I go out clubbing or fine dining with them, and other times I spend with my friends outside of my work circle. Late nights, sometimes I find company with Courtney Lawrence, one of Evelyn's close friends.
What do you mean late night? Can you elaborate, Mr. Bateman?
I feel like I was pretty clear with what I meant.
And how does your girlfriend Evelyn feel about this?
It's been going on for months, and she has no idea.
Well, she does now.
Okay, let's continue.
So, Mr. Bateman, how genuine would you say your relationships are with others?
I can't even tell the difference between half my friends and colleagues. After a while, they just all appear the same to me. Hell, my own lawyer confused me with someone else.
Evelyn, a few quick questions before you enter your apartment?
Sure.
How was your relationship with Patrick Bateman?
He's super rich.
Did Patrick ever act strange around you?
No, not really. Everything usually seemed normal. I mean, sometimes he would talk about killing people and stuff, but I always just thought it was kind of a joke.
Oh, wow. So you never thought that could be a serious issue? Did you ever feel unsafe?
I guess not.
Okay, next question. Is there anything about your experience with Bateman that could have led you to believe he could possibly have some sort of mental illness?
Well, I would have said no, but I guess, when I look back now, then yeah, there's definitely a chance. Anything is possible. Patrick was pretty unpredictable sometimes.
Wow, she was, interesting.
Now back to Bateman. Mr. Bateman, why do you care so much about your appearance?
Appearance is everything. I start the day with my daily facial routine. I tie a plastic ice pack around my face. First, I use a water-activated gel cleanser, then a honey almond body scrub, and on the face, an exfoliating gel scrub. I always slather on a Clinique moisturizer, then apply an anti-aging eye balm, followed by a final moisturizing protection lotion. And that's just my skin routine.
We actually brought in some of those products today. Here, we have Bateman's favorite body scrub. You can pick one up for yourself at the nearest Doug's Market. We also have the amazing Clinique moisturizer. This wonderful product is long-lasting and keeps your skin looking amazing all day long. Lastly, we brought in a wonderful face scrub. It's gentle on the skin and keeps it feeling soft to the touch. This beauty staple can be purchased at any of your nearby Golden Glows. Now, Mr. Bateman, how would you describe yourself?
Well, Kimmy, I believe there is an idea of a Patrick Bateman, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusory, And though I can hide my cold gaze and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there.
All right, moving on.
Yesterday evening, we stopped by Pierce & Pierce Investment Firm to get an exclusive interview with Bateman Secretary Jean. Here's a recap of what she shared. We're glad to have you, Jean.
Happy to be here.
So, as Mr. Bateman's former secretary, how would you describe him?
Mr. Bateman is a very honest man. If he didn't like something, he would make sure you knew it, especially your outfit. He's also very hard to read. I never really knew if he liked me or not, but I liked him.
Did you ever notice anything off about his interaction with his coworkers?
What can I say? Mr. Bateman was really hard to read. I honestly never knew if he liked me or not.
Thanks, Jean. Now back to Bateman.
Now, Mr. Bateman, what do you usually enjoy doing outside of your work?
I'm into, murders and executions mostly. It depends.
What do you mean? You kill people?
Well, if you would really like to know.
Oh, Mr. Bateman, you're so funny.
No, I'm serious. I just killed someone out in Central Park yesterday. The kid was wearing blue jeans. Cheap, I could tell. And a striped long-sleeve crew neck from a thrift store. I slit his throat. I remember the blood spilling down his neck and his lifeless eyes staring back into mine.
Mr. Bateman, what day did you say that was?
May 6th.
Well, actually, Mr. Bateman, we have some exclusive, never-before-seen surveillance footage of you on that day in the park.
I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know how much clearer I can be. I am a killer.
Let's take a look. So, what were you doing here, Mr. Bateman?
No, that's not what happened. I know. I killed them. I remember it. I'm a killer. I've killed over a dozen people, strangled, skinned, stabbed, shot them. You name it.
Mr. Bateman, have you ever considered that you might have a mental illness?